like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a nice beat.
Ain't it?
Yeah.
I can
Relax.
always say that it was designed for me to do that, so
Yeah.
it was the best way to do it. But today on the Russ Meek Speak Show, I have an interesting couple who's designed something that cannot be replicated. They are the best in what they do, and I'd love to have the rest of the world understand what they do, how they do it, and how we can make it grow even more. So tell me a little bit about you guys. What do you do?
Well, I'm Chef Ken,
And I'm Natasha.
and we are House of Love Catering, Inc. And actually, our logo is House of Love Catering, Inc., where everything is made with love.
Okay.
Yes.
And right now, we're the home of the 10 cheese mac and cheese.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so that's actually one of our top sellers.
Yes.
And we're based on the South Side.
Got it.
South Shore.
Yep.
South
it.
Shore neighborhood.
So how did you guys get started?
Well, it began as us hanging out with friends, and I was already in school. I went to Le Cordon Bleu, Chicago.
Okay, Cordon Bleu.
Yes.
Yes.
It's since been closed, but at the time, I was a student, and so we would have gatherings and stuff, and so our friends, we noticed, would leave the gatherings feeling edified, if you will. You know what? This is the house of love, and we kept hearing that over and over again. So we decided, maybe we should land on that name. And so, eventually, when we decided to incorporate in 2016, we actually been in business since 2012. When we decided to incorporate in 2016, we added 2 O's. Because we spread the love.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's how we got started. And we've been in business ever since.
Got it.
Yeah, so.
Now, question, so how did you come in line with this beautiful young lady here? When did she decide that you wanted to be part of the House of Love?
Well, it was actually just by chance, when we met. It's better when she tells this part of the story, but when we met, I was in the middle of cooking and learning different things, and I would come home to impress her with some of the things that I was learning.
Yes.
And so she found out I had a passion for
Yeah,
it. So.
he had a serious, I had never met someone with the passion for cooking in my life until I met Chef Ken. He had, he can take something very simple and turn it into something, and you're like, wow, this is just green beans, but it tastes delicious, right? And so once I saw the passion that he had, I made a conscious decision. I said, you really love this. And like he said, when we would have gatherings, everyone would leave, man, we just felt the love here. Every time we come, friends and family said, we feel the love.
Yeah.
So I decided to jump on board, because why not spread some love in a world that we living in right now? We need more love today. So I made a decision. I worked in corporate America, worked for the city of Chicago, and I made a decision, I'll take a chance, step out on some faith, and I'll join my husband. And here we are today, House of Love Catering.
Make it happen. Yeah, you got the 5 kids, and I can see it now rolling down the streets. Like, hey, it's a House of Love.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
Yes.
Now, the question I have for you guys is, what do you do? Do you guys cater to any particular market, any particular types of food? Do you do any certain types of things?
Well, while we're the home of the 10 cheese mac and cheese, we do have various recipes, and while some of them, or most of them, are soul food based, they actually have a fusion or a mashup that kind of accommodates all genres. We've done even just a taco bar with a flair, you know what I mean? So it's always like taking what we've already learned and know and putting a twist on it and adding love to it, adding our own flavor to it. Most of all, on top of the food and the fact that we shop for all fresh ingredients, it's about the experience.
Okay.
That's why we pride ourselves on being more than just caterers of food. We cater for the experience, because people remember how you treat them, or remember how you made them feel.
Got it. Now my question comes back. You do the catering, but is this just for the home gathering, at family trying to get together, or this is for big corporate gatherings, or is this again exclusive for Oprah Winfrey or things like that? I mean, what's the target market here?
Well, right now our target market is our community. We are based in South Shore. We have a relationship with the South Shore Chamber of Commerce,
Yes.
and we also have a relationship, and we're tied to the Hyde Park Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
So what that did was introduce us and put us in front of the bigger corporations like the University of Chicago,
Terrible
for
place.
example.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
but they love House of Love, so we like them.
Yep.
So we've done, big events for the University of Chicago, and it actually goes back some years prior to being a part of the chambers. The University of Chicago found us.
Okay.
So that is our target market, and what we're trying to do is grow that market.
Yes.
Right now, it's kind of based south side of Chicago. We do have a very good customer base and fan base on the west side of Chicago
Yes,
as
we
well.
do.
Okay.
So we would like to bridge that gap and bring the entire Chicago together and say, hey, House of Love is here if you need us. We want to spread some love to you as
It's
well.
not just West Side.
No.
That's right.
And just to add a little more to that, to back it up a bit, we actually went to Sunshine Enterprises, which at the time was called Sunshine Gospel Ministries. And what it was like an incubator to help small businesses within the community. It's based in Woodlawn,
Okay.
61st.
Yep,
correct?
61st.
Yes, so it was also that class that taught us how to run a business, how to do business. And it introduced us to more, like she said, like more people who were looking to support small businesses. More like the University of Chicago. We even have a partnership with SBDC and Bronzeville,
Okay.
where we've done various events for them. And we also host private events. We offer private chef services as well,
Got it.
For more smaller, intimate gatherings, so.
Now I'm going to have to push. I'm a University of Chicago alumni.
Yeah.
And I see your information come through. It's definitely going to be pushed. I also do work at Northwestern, so definitely want to push you guys on the Northwestern
Please
side.
do. Thank you very much.
Having a daughter who's saying she wants to go to Stanford or Harvard, so I think I'll push you guys to Harvard and Stanford also.
That'll work.
That'll work.
So
That'll
we'll,
work.
we'll make this expand. And last but not least, I'm on the board also of the Illinois Black Chamber of Commerce, and also on the National Chamber of Commerce. So in each state,
Yes, sir.
we have different associations. So all the businesses that are there always go through catering and things of that nature.
Yes,
so
sir.
Yes.
I'd like you to be on the table to say, hey, if we need somebody who can do a good job, then they call you guys.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Now,
And
my
we'll-
question to you guys, how big are you guys equipped to handle? What are you guys able to do right now? Can I get 1,000 companies next week and you guys can handle it? Or how many can we handle?
Well,
Well, we're a family business, but to be totally and completely transparent, it's really just Chef Ken and I that is
Yeah.
really pushing the House of Love Catering Incorporated.
Okay.
Okay, so we can handle, maybe up
larger
to maybe
right now with just
up
the
to
two of us.
300.
Yeah, we've handled up to 300. And the
Yeah.
thing is,
Yeah.
we also
But if we need,
Yeah.
we have
other resources,
connections
yes,
and resources
for services
for
and
service,
things. Yes.
exactly. So if we need to hire, servers,
Yes.
people to come out and help,
Exactly.
then we have connections.
We have
to
that
do
at our
that as well.
disposal as well for
That's
larger
Yes,
parties.
yes.
So my question comes back then. You guys are in a situation from my testing or tasting of your product,
Yeah.
definitely going to be in high demand.
Okay.
So my question is going to be, how do you grow and how do you get other folks, African Americans, into what you guys are doing and have them assist to make this thing grow?
Well,
Really
I
good
think,
question.
yeah,
Well,
that
I
is a
think
good
if
question.
we keep it based on the experience as well as the food, our plan is to grow, to incorporate community. What happened was we found ourselves to be somewhat essential during the pandemic because we had to become what we call a mobile catering service because a lot of stuff got, discontinued, different services and stuff, and people needed food. They needed help with
Restaurants were closed
Yes,
down.
restaurants were closing. And so we found ourselves to be sort of a necessity in that way. And what we did was try to create an experience to say, hey, we want to be able to invite people to not only just enjoy the food, but enjoy the ambiance, the surroundings, to create sort of like a wellness cafe, if you will.
Yes.
You know, and so that's kind of where we're going with it, you know, and to incorporate other services as well, possibly training for kids in the community and even for young adults and older adults who want to learn something, you know what I mean? So it's kind of a lofty idea, but I think it's attainable.
Yeah, I think you guys are in a situation where you'll grow exponentially to the moon.
Man.
But my question comes back to say, how are you guys going to cater to my community? Because right now I got a problem in my community. I got the highest blood pressure, I got the highest diabetes, all these other areas, and it's based on the food that they eat. So how can we come back to you guys and say, look, let's make sure that what you eat doesn't kill you?
Exactly, and that's what we do. When we talk to our menu, we have a set menu, but when we speak to people, we base the menu specifically on your needs. So one thing we'll ask in the beginning of the booking of our services is, are there any dietary restrictions, needs, so on and so forth.
Right.
And while we have vegan and vegetarian options, we also have options to where we can make the food, you know, more healthy as far as less salt and no gluten and stuff like that.
Yes.
We incorporate it. We literally cater to who you are and how and what you need for your specific gathering. You know, so that people can walk away from there feeling satiated and not heavy, and you know, they can feel like I had a healthy meal. It's not too filling, but you know.
Yeah, and we pride on everything fresh.
Yes.
Because as we know, in most restaurants, you know, they got stuff sitting on the shelves and just waiting to be prepared. Not with House of Love Catering. Everything is freshly purchased when you hire
freshly
us.
purchased and prepared.
Yes, and the thing is, we also pride ourselves on, we don't use iodized table salt.
Right.
That is a no-no in House of Love Catering.
We don't use white sugar.
We don't use white sugar. We only use pure cane sugar.
Right.
We only use Himalayan pink salt or sea salt or kosher salt. And as we grow, we are looking to get into the, how you say it, Celtic.
Yes,
the Celtic salt.
Yeah.
Because that's even healthier. Another healthier product to use when you're seasoning your meals. So again, vegan, vegetarian options, because we do see, like our own parents, you know, deal with diabetes, high blood. My mom has dealt with high blood pressure. Oh my God! So as long as I can remember, God bless her. She's 81 years old. She's made it through, you know, but she's dealing with the high blood pressure and diabetes. And the thing is, what happens? A doctor just wants to give you continuously, you know, the medicine to help the problem. And we know that most times it doesn't, because at 81 years old, she's still dealing with high blood pressure. So we are actively, you know, when we make our food, we literally mean we're making it with love.
Yes.
What is the problem here, though? My mom, like your mom, has cooked the same way the last 50, 60 years. And they still keep a high fat. Definitely love the hog moss.
I was about to touch on that. Yeah.
And I'm trying to say, how do we correct the problem? Is it really trying to re-educate them, or saying that the food has to be looked at differently?
It does.
It's also what your diet is. Like, for one, we have updated our menu to eliminate unclean meats. So that includes pork, shellfish, catfish. We don't serve any of those things. We used to in the beginning, before we started learning what it means to eat clean.
Yes,
and so,
Chef Ken used to make mean ribs.
I did.
Ribs were the best. Fall off the bone, delicious.
What about the chicken wings?
But we had to.
But the chicken wings are just as delicious.
Yeah, but we had to get away
Yes.
from that, and so now, since we don't use pork, now I use beef ribs or lamb or salmon. You know,
chicken,
turkey. Definitely chicken and turkey. The healthier options.
Yes.
It starts with, you know, it begins what you're putting in your body too. You know, if you're putting something down there that's going to cause the high blood pressure, then expect it.
Yes.
You know, so yeah.
And it's all about a mind change. And I think that in our
Sort of a discipline,
communities, in our communities, we're used to the norm.
Yeah.
We don't want to change,
Right.
right? We want to continue, like you said, with the hog maws and the chitlins, and we want to have our delicious bacon in the morning, not knowing that years of
really
that
unhealthy.
and down the line, yes, it's very unhealthy, and down the line, we go to the doctor, here we are, hypertensive,
Yeah.
you know.
That's the big issue. Is right now I'm in a
Yes.
situation where I have high blood pressure, which again, it's my family's kind of a history there. But I focused on what I eat is kind of
Yes.
the key here.
Yes.
Then I also start to talk with my daughter and say, okay, well, we got the youth here. What are they eating right now? Do they understand what's best for their bodies, what they consume? And so what you eat is what you are.
Yes,
Yeah,
this
no
is very
doubt.
true. And
No
I
doubt.
think that the young people, I see it, you know, being out in the community, the young people are really starting to change their mindset when it comes to food. For example, our middle son, he's 25, and he went away to college. He went to Alabama A&M University.
Alabama.
Yes, so yes. And so he came back home vegan.
Yeah.
He made a conscious decision. He's like, Mom, you know, no more, because I've been doing my research. I see what they're doing to the meat, right, you know, today. And so I think I want to stay away from that. So no more meat, you know, and he was doing, you know, dairy, and now he's essentially gotten away from dairy. So I think the young people today, they're starting to see, you know, I don't want to end up like grandma, you know, in the hospital.
Right.
I don't want to end up like, you know, like grandpa or mom, you know, with these ailments.
Yeah.
I want to treat my body better, you know, break the cycle.
And I will say we've taken cues from that as well, because
Yes.
he's shown us some recipes that we've actually incorporated in our menus,
our
and that's
menu,
kind
yes.
of an incentive that we give to our adult children. Like, you know, guys, if you guys come up with something and we do like a test kitchen and it works, we can add it to the menu, you know, and so, yeah.
Yeah, and we've done that.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, while they help when they can, and you know, because they have their lives, they're young adults, when they are able to help, they're very instrumental, and they're willing to learn, you know what I'm saying, and that takes a lot of the pressure off, because I think what it is, they want to be involved, especially when they see the interaction with the community. We do outdoor events, especially in the summer, you know, and when our kids come around and they see how we're received in the community, they're like, man, you know, we want to be a part of that.
Right.
And, you know, so yeah, we've learned a lot from our kids just listening to them.
Yep, our kids and
the
other young
community.
people.
Yeah.
So my question comes back from the clergy. Right now, tons of churches, thousands around the Chicagoland
Yeah.
area. They all do catered types of events.
They do.
Yes.
And my question is, how do they contact you guys, and how do they find out how you can help them?
Well,
We have a business line.
business line.
Yeah.
What's the
and
number?
that number is 844-772-4362.
Okay.
And they can call, and if they don't get a person right away, they can leave a detailed message and let us know what they're looking for. Also, our website, House of Love, that's love with 2 O's,
Yes.
House of Love Catering.
At
.com.
Right,
That's our
.com, sorry.
website.
Right.
houseoflovecatering.com. And the website has our full menu.
Yes.
It has all the information needed to make an informed decision. You can also place an order, or if you have an inquiry, you can put an inquiry on there and we'll get it through our email system.
Yes.
So, yeah. And then we also on Facebook, we're on Instagram, TikTok, because the
Can
young
TV,
people help
gosh.
us. And Can TV, thank you. Yes.
And
Yeah,
while
and the
we
young
have
people help out. Say,
Yes.
look, you guys need to get this to make things easier.
Oh, yeah.
So we've downloaded, you know, all types of technology
Yeah.
so that
The
things
new
can go
apps and
very
stuff.
smooth,
Yes.
you know, when we're doing business. So, yeah.
So, question is, here we are, 2025.
Yes.
What is the House of Love in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, okay. Our goal is to expand. Well, first off, we actually attained certificates and licensing, so where we can cook in all 50 states. So if we were to, go, we can actually cook and,
Yes.
sell our wares there. And so our goal is eventually to take House of Love on the road, but in our community, we want to purchase land that we can create something out of. Not necessarily a storefront, but something to create what we call the Wellness Cafe, which is House of Love, but an extension of it. We want to create that atmosphere so people can come, get food, get some respite from the week or the day or what have you, and also possibly learn something, learn a new skill or something. We want to create that and put it in our community, because the thing is, a lot of stuff is closing. A lot of things are becoming unavailable, and we kind of want to give back in that way.
Yeah.
We want to train kids as well as young adults, or maybe even adults our age, or even if they just want to come by and sit down and talk, much like this, just to create a space for people to feel safe and,
Yes, and important.
Am I going to see then in the near future, as opposed to
prayerfully so,
every corner of McDonald's, is it going to be a House of Love store?
That is something that we would love to see
House
to
of Love
come into fruition.
franchise.
Honestly,
Yeah, that would be something.
Because we know and understand that's what the world needs.
Yeah.
The world doesn't need any more,
It's enough hate. It's enough
yeah,
hate.
it's
Our
that, and then we
idea-
don't need any more unhealthy foods
Right,
either.
and our idea is to inject love where we can. That's why there's 2 O's in the word love, because we truly believe in spreading love.
Yes.
And none of this is possible without God in our lives. We put Him first every day. You know what I'm saying? To order our steps and direct our path. Without Him, none of this is possible.
Yes.
So how do you deal with the different churches? I mean, you got lots of women and cooks in the churches.
Yeah.
And look,
This is true.
the House of Love people, they're food.
But we
Well,
have, the
yeah.
thing is, we have a relationship with I
several.
think the Church of God. It's on 40, I think it's 42nd or 47th
I
and
believe
Prairie.
so. Several churches.
Yeah, this lady, shout out to Donna.
Yeah.
She always, hires us to do church functions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and it always works out, and we've actually garnered, business from her, from doing that. So, yeah.
And it gets to the relationships. That's what
It's
Yeah,
the
it's about
rebuilding of
building
relationships,
relationships,
of
yes.
course.
So we
Yes,
make
yes.
ourselves available pretty much for churches and different, venues. And also we create our own events.
So how do you guys come back to the youth? If they're saying, hey, I can do this at some point, what would you recommend them to do if they want to create a company like what you guys have created in the future?
Well, I learned while I was in school, one of our chefs said, you find something you love to do and learn to make money at it, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah, I love to eat.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
if I tell, like I told our children, if you find something that you love to do, that you have a passion for, invest your time and effort. First, pray about it. Can't forget about prayer. And then invest your time and your effort into trying to bring that goal to fruition. And if you're passionate about it, it won't feel like work. And once you attain whatever goals you set for yourself, then you can pass that along. Maybe not the passion, but at least what you've learned from it, your skill, And so as far as young people in the House of Love, we would like to be a part of helping people, helping children, how can I say, realize their passions, even if it's not for cooking. And that's what the Wellness Cafe would be about.
Got it.
It doesn't have to necessarily be what we do, but whatever it is, pour into it.
Yeah, I do a lot of work with different non-for-profits
Yeah.
that donate food to the homeless
Yeah.
and
Yep.
people in need. Do you guys get involved with those types of
Oh
things?
yeah,
Yes,
we
yes,
definitely
yes.
do that. We actually recently, about a couple years ago, we had a relationship with Unity Parenting. They had hired us to do just that, and then
Where
so-
we were servicing the homeless youth.
yeah,
the homeless
we were serving the
teenagers.
homeless youth. Sorry for not mentioning
Yeah,
that,
no,
but
it's
yeah,
okay.
that's exactly what we were doing.
Every night we would provide hot meals for them because we found that a lot of them were just riding the train all
Yeah.
day or riding the buses
And-
all
and
day
they're being
in the
forced to-
communities all day.
Yeah.
And so
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but just to ride CTA, CTA is a hotel on wheels.
It
Basically.
really is.
And they're forced
Yes,
to
it
eat
is.
whatever they can get their hands
Exactly.
on. Some kids are eating hot, crunchy curls, potato chips for dinner.
for breakfast.
For breakfast and for
lunch.
dinner. And so that's where we came in. And so we're still available to do things like that. You know what I mean? If you give us a call, we'll,
Yeah.
you know, we
And
can discuss
the
it.
homeless shelter downtown, the one that's
Yep.
been around for many years, we donated some food
Pacific
there.
Garden, I think
yeah,
is the name of it,
Pacific
yeah.
Garden Mission.
We
we
donated
food to them too as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, especially if we do big events and you know it's quite a bit of food left over and it's good quality, everything's still nice and hot and good. We go and give it to them.
No doubt.
Now, here's a question. Chicago public school system. They got a ton of kids. Their primary food source for the day is
Yep.
their breakfast, their lunch.
Yep.
And right now, it would be great if they had a better menu of food
We told
I
that
agree.
they could get.
Yeah,
And you
because
guys
our
talk to
kids
the
used to
people there.
complain.
Yeah.
Our children
Boy,
complain
didn't
so horribly about Chicago public schools
And the
food.
meals they were getting or
Yeah,
not getting.
like Mom, they gave us pink hot dogs today.
Or green hot dogs.
Or
It
green
was
hot
terrible.
dogs. Yeah, it
So-
was. Yeah, that definitely
Well,
needs to be revamped.
We haven't connected with CPS yet, but we do have resources and people that we can talk to do just that because we actually have tried to throw our hat in the arena for that.
Right.
Yeah.
It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
You guys saying you would consider it.
Yes.
They do put out RFPs each year
Yeah.
for different catering groups if they'd like to come in to Chicago Public School Systems to cater for the food that's being provided.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you guys are saying that you would be willing to take this duty on, it can be done.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I sent out a few of the boards that
If they
actually get
allow
involved.
some creativity and not just
The run of
the
the mill.
norm.
Yeah.
You know, we're not serving hot dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not green
Yeah,
hot dogs.
That's right.
The-
We're
the
not.
purple hot
We're gonna,
dogs.
yeah, we're gonna make sure that they're getting some delicious, fresh food.
Right.
And what
Yes.
about the education? Just letting youth know what you eat
Yes.
is the most important
Very
thing.
important.
This is true.
Yeah.
How do you guys get that out?
Well, as far as packaging, we tend to put all the ingredients and what we use and stuff on the packaging, so we can be transparent as possible.
I mean, do people really read that?
I mean, the thing is, even if they don't, when we talk to them over the phone, when they're setting up and making the plans, we explain to them what they're getting, and as far as the ingredients and the types of food that we buy to prepare for them.
And the
you know?
biggest thing is education.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
The
Yeah.
biggest thing is education and
Right.
informing, the children. Like, look, okay, yeah,
This
you
is
may
why.
be used to eating hot,
Yes.
crunchy curls all day, but this is what's going to happen eventually with your body,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we need to educate and let them know, look, some fresh fruit and some vegetables, a nice smoothie in the morning time can help, kickstart your metabolism and get you, through the day. So it's just teaching them about a different mindset.
Now, how can I set this up? If I'm talking to McDonald's corporate, they want to change their actual presentation for what they do right now. My daughter, of course, loves McDonald's, but of course I hate to bring her to McDonald's.
I
I say,
know.
eat McDonald's. Oh no, you mean the pasteurized food that they have that'll last you for 100 years?
Right,
Exactly.
and never
it
decay.
never goes bad.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, I sit on,
Yeah.
I go to the McDonald's shareholders meetings. I talk to them about what could be done. What would you recommend that House of Love says if McDonald's wanted to do the right thing in the community, what would you recommend?
Well,
Yeah, I would say change. They need to change up
Big
how.
Mac has to change, huh?
Yes.
real meat.
Real
Without
meat.
trying to say too much, if you're going to
Yeah.
use meat, let's use real meat
Let's
for one.
use real
And
meat.
then
And
let's
not
incorporate
filler.
healthier options other than meat.
And
let's,
healthier options that is not full of preservatives.
Right.
Right, because we
Right.
already know what's going on in the farming,
Right.
arena. Pesticides on everything. Maybe let's change that up because we see that unfortunately our babies and young children, they're getting sick too. Diabetes, cancers, all different kind of weird cancers that you never heard of. So let's go back and say, hey, I know it's a thing of volume. Oh yeah, we gotta get this
Crank
out. We
it
gotta
out.
crank it out. We gotta make this money. But no, let's think about what we're actually doing to the people in the community that you're serving, and let's go back to the drawing board and change up some of the
And-
ingredients that's being used.
You're right. I was going to speak on that because we actually utilize some of the nearby farmers markets and stuff like that. It's not always what we get from the store. We shop for quality ingredients, and so if a place like McDonald's or any fast food place could be transparent about the ingredients that they use and where they source them from,
Yes.
you know, so people can know what they're eating, really know what they're eating, then I think that would go a long way.
Right.
Because other than that, as long as they're hiding ingredients and using ingredients that no one's ever heard of with big names that you can't hardly pronounce,
Right.
you know, eventually they're going to fail because, you know, it seems like people are becoming more health conscious,
Yeah.
you know, and caring about
becoming
what
more
they're
aware
putting in their
now.
bodies. Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's my biggest issue right now, for people to be educated
Yeah.
of what they eat.
Exactly.
And to have corporate America making billions,
Yes.
no, it's trillions
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
dollars on an annual basis here. And right now, they have to give back to the community. Say, look, we're making all this money. Let's ensure the fact that you guys are educated for what we're providing to you.
Yes.
And you know that we're doing it what's in your best interest.
Exactly.
Because I'd like to start labeling these different institutions with a red, a white, blue stamp. To say, hey,
Yeah.
who gets the red stamp? Who's like, you do not want to eat this food.
Yes.
Right.
So
Yes.
it has
Yes.
been noted that you guys are the red zone. Do not
Yes.
want to go here.
Right.
Well, we give you a,
Well, even if they incorporate training on how to farm their own ingredients, and we can go to teaching people, kids especially, how to plant and grow their own ingredients, and you know they can get better versed on what it is that they're feeding themselves and others. You know, when a child starts to feel like they're responsible for something, they take a little more pride in it.
Okay.
So if you teach a small child how to grow something, you know,
They get excited.
yeah, they get excited and they want to get more into it, you know, especially when it comes out. Oh, I grew a watermelon. I grew,
Right.
you know, my
Right.
very own tomatoes.
Some strawberries,
you know,
something
some
simple,
strawberries.
yeah.
I grew some thyme or basil. You know, just that act can spark some interest and change the trajectory of a child's life.
because I was trying to educate my daughter, say, look, you know, we had one of our famous historic African Americans who became the star of using peanut butter.
See?
Folks don't understand that there's so many different things could be done by using peanut
Yes.
Yeah.
It even makes a delicious sauce.
It does.
In fact, it's healthy for you.
Yeah.
And it's a format to say, look, this is something that was created, and we had an African American that was able to make this work.
Yeah.
And he was noted to say, hey, you got this, and it's working, and people even around the world have utilized his technology.
Yeah. See, that's great.
Well, just kind of piggybacking on that, as far as our exposure as well, people have talked to us about creating our own YouTube channel. That's a way of educating as well. Actually, my wife did a video where she was showing one of our recipes. I think it was for deviled eggs or something.
Yeah, it was a group of ladies.
Yeah.
At the time, we had shrimp deviled eggs on our.
Shrimp devil eggs.
I know.
We don't do it
I know.
anymore.
We don't do
because,
it
again,
anymore,
we
but
don't serve any unclean
but we
meats,
did get a
but that
chance
was-
to, you know, get some exposure, you know, by doing like a little small cooking show.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was pretty successful as well.
Yeah.
And recently, bringing it more recently, we kind of accidentally became a part of a radio talk show. And when she called in and told them that we had 10 cheese mac and cheese, everybody started.
lost it.
We started getting more and more followers right away.
Yeah,
Instagram.
everybody
And they
came
were like,
from
we
everywhere.
heard you on the radio, and so
Yeah.
people started following us.
So what's the scoop with mac and cheese? I like it,
Yes.
and I always hear people talking about mac and cheese.
Yeah.
What is the issue?
Well, it's 10 cheeses. We don't just call it that. As a matter of fact, the
Yes.
official name of it is Tasha's 10 Cheese Mac and Cheese.
Yes.
And it was a culmination of trial and error over time.
Yeah.
And while my wife was already a really good cook, when I met her, she's one that when she dedicates her time and effort into something, she's gonna make it better than the best recipe she did last week. It's gonna,
Right.
oh, that's even better. So
Right.
That's kind of what happened with the 10 cheese mac and cheese.
Yeah.
And just last year, we were at Navy Pier. And we were showcasing the mac and cheese, and
it was a hit.
It was a definite hit.
Especially with the kids.
People were coming up trying to guess the 10 cheeses, and anybody that guessed the 10 cheeses at the time, we would give them like a free sample or something.
Yeah, get something free.
I can't give you the recipe.
Right.
You know,
well, one person actually came pretty close.
Oh yeah, I think he got 8 of them.
Yeah, because a lot of people say, "Oh my God, I never even knew it was 10 cheeses in the world."
And while it sounds like a lot, because people have told us, "Oh, that sounds like a lot." The thing is, the way she makes it, and the ingredients that we use, it's not overwhelming to the system.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people are lactose intolerant, and they have the problems with the dairy. Well, let me be the first to tell you, I have the same issues, and it does not give me any trouble, and we haven't had any complaints thus far.
No.
So to take that fear out of it being something messing with the tummy, no.
Right.
It's very, it makes you feel like you're in the living room eating at grandma's
Southern
house.
comfort.
Yeah, just that one dish.
Right.
Southern
Southern
transport
comfort, right
you
here
back
in
in
Chicago.
time, like, man, and it doesn't taste like it's got a lot of cheeses in it.
No, cooking is all about a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Just spread it out.
Yeah, that's it.
Just spread
that's
it out.
it. Yeah.
Here's a big issue. So, what is soul food? Is it really a true definition of what soul food is?
Well, I mean,
Or
I
is
think it's several. I think it's food that's good for the soul, they say.
Yeah. It
but
makes you feel good.
But I believe they take it back to it being the food that we got used to eating around grandma's table in the black family, in the black household.
Okay.
Sunday dinner.
Sunday dinner, which is something
Yes.
that we've been known to host quite a bit. We host specifically Sunday dinner or Sunday brunch to bring people together, to create that camaraderie and that, that respite, if you will, from the everyday grind.
Yeah.
And
Go
that's
take
what
a break. Get
Yeah,
a
and that's
meal.
what I believe that soul food is derived of.
Okay.
Some of the old recipes mixed with the new, and just a good feeling of family. When you
Yes.
incorporate family, that's what really makes it.
Got it.
You
Puts
know.
it back in line.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my question is, what do Caucasian individuals find soul food to be when they said, "Hey, we want to get these guys out. They can make good soul food for us."
Yeah.
What are
You'll
they
be
looking at?
surprised.
Yeah,
A lot
our
of
Caucasian
people,
friends
they love our
love
greens.
it.
They love.
They love
Yes,
greens.
yes.
They absolutely love greens
I'll say
and
the
the way
greens
that we make them. They
and the
love
mac and
them.
cheese are a hit
Yes.
with that particular
Yes,
target
it
market.
is.
Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Little Joey and Mikey, we
Yeah.
want this.
They love it.
As a matter
They
of
love
fact,
it.
to give a little background, we did what was that for Paramount? We were working with Paramount.
Oh yeah, Paramount.
Yeah, it was kind of a
yeah.
competition where we entered the 10 cheese mac and cheese, and it was a hit.
was.
Although we didn't ultimately win the competition, but
Well, we
it was,
did. We just couldn't
we
go
didn't
forward.
win we didn't win the first
Yeah.
prize. I'll say that.
Right,
But
right.
It was well received, and
Yeah.
we got a lot of positive feedback, and so
And it was a collaboration with BMW.
yes.
So it was
and
fun.
It was very
It
diverse
was a lot of fun.
crowd.
Yeah, very diverse.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes.
I
So we
always-
saw that it was able to span across.
Yeah.
It didn't matter the color.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I've
mac and
always
cheese
told
is
her-
one of those things that spans across, any generation
Yeah.
or genre or color or
Yeah.
whatever.
I've always told her that's that's her and our $1 million baby.
Right.
An interesting
Right.
question. Are you guys doing a lot of work in the South? You guys get to do any catering events in the Mississippi, the lower areas?
Actually, we did in
Well,
Alabama
Yeah.
when we first
Yeah,
started.
we did.
Yeah. Yeah.
We also have customers out of state that we've shipped certain recipes and things to. She did she has a butter pound cake recipe. Oh my goodness, that we shipped all the way to California.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have out of state customers. We had one customer who hired us sight unseen. She just, I guess, found us online.
It's okay.
But
Yeah,
she was
from
from out of
Atlanta.
town, from Atlanta.
She's from Atlanta.
And she came
Yeah.
here and she was like, I found you guys. She had never even heard of us before. She took a chance on us, and she was very impressed with how we delivered for her daughter's birthday.
Yeah, her
I
daughter's
think it was.
birthday.
all the way from Atlanta.
All the way from
so,
Atlanta.
You know,
Yep.
yeah, we have some customers out of town in different areas.
Because I usually talk with folks all around the country, and there's different flavor depending on where you're from.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
yes,
I think
yes.
Chicago is that hardcore format for soul food.
I
Well,
think so
yeah,
too.
you know.
Chicago is on the map, definitely.
It's
for
on
soul
the
food.
map for the food.
Yeah.
Period. You know, people come here to try
for the food.
Yeah. So
Seriously.
Now, I get the problem with my New York friends. That's an issue. There's some weird people out in New York.
They like what they like.
Yeah.
Especially the pizza.
Yeah.
And
But-
I haven't been able to really say that I love their pizza,
But I think we penetrated even different cultures. I mean, we did an event with Sunshine Enterprises where we were showcasing what we call on our menu the Holy Trinity, and it's spelled WHOLLY Trinity because it's a whole meal made up of 3 menu items, which is your protein, your starch, and your veggie. And this particular day we did greens, mac and cheese, and jerk chicken. And so there was a guy who was of Jamaican descent. He's like, I'm gonna check you out, you know. And so when he did,
because everybody's doing jerk chicken.
yeah, because everybody's doing jerk chicken. So
Right.
when he checked us out, he was like, we kind of got the stamp of approval.
Yeah,
You know, oh yeah, this is authentic. And so, and that's another thing. We don't just use any ingredients. When we are hired to do an event, we use authentic ingredients pertaining to the event. So if you hire us for a taco bar, if you hire us for a Caribbean event, you're gonna get that authentic taste, not just something we put together.
Right.
You know, we do our research even on recipes that we know pretty well. We do our research on how to make them better.
Yes.
And how to add our own flair to it.
Yes.
Have you guys ever done Taste of Chicago?
We have not done a
No,
Taste of
we
Chicago.
haven't. Which was kind of like
it was kind of what we
Pier
did.
was
Yeah,
about.
it was called the Taste
Taste
of Sunshine.
Of Sunshine.
In
at
last
Navy
year,
Pier.
so we kind of got a taste of being able to do that, but we haven't done the taste
No,
yet.
we haven't.
Okay.
We see that the taste has changed so much.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
I do
so-
these cruise ships every year, and
Okay.
living out of Chicago, the big Odyssey,
Yeah.
and we pretty much
Oh,
do the
yeah.
catering format, and they're
Yeah.
usually looking for good food there.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
have their own catering format, but I would love to recommend having you guys come in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we've
Yeah,
heard that
catering.
before,
Yeah.
you know, with other, other businesses, like, we really love you guys, but they have their own,
Yeah,
caterer,
yeah.
and it's like, I don't know how you guys can move around that, if it's possible, let's do it.
Well, usually
you know?
the way it happens is, even if they have their own caterer, as long as we have our documents, which we do, we have our license, our certificates, and we're insured.
We're legit, yeah.
So we're legitimate. So as we have those documents and we're able to present them, a lot of times that'll be how we bypass them having to use the in-house caterer, because
Right.
at least they're using someone who is licensed and reputable.
Right,
You
that
know,
would be the key.
yeah.
Right.
So my question comes back to people who would love to have events catered and have sharp people like you guys to be able to do it, but they can't afford it. How?
Well-
What's the best way for them to get involved?
Well,
Well, this is the thing.
I like to say,
It's a communication
yeah,
thing.
just communicate
Just
with us. We tend to
communicate with
work
us.
with almost
Yeah.
any budget.
Yeah.
You know, we don't try to price ourselves out, and we're not trying to, be the most expensive, but at the same time, we keep ourselves within the comparable range of other caterers and other people offering similar services. And so with us knowing that, we open up the floor for communication. Tell us what you're trying to do and exactly how you're trying to do it, and we'll give you the best price possible for your event, so that everybody's made whole.
Exactly.
course.
Work with a few organizations. One, Community Renewal. They've done a ton of things for the clergy here in the Chicagoland area. And they've helped small churches and things of that nature that may not have the biggest budget, but they want to do certain catering events for the youth or for different events within the church.
Yeah.
And we try to at least give them information of organizations like yours and say, look, this is a sharp organization
Wow.
that can make everybody smile.
Thank you for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'd say this is something I definitely would want to connect them to say, hey, utilize these folks, they'll work with you guys, you can make this happen.
Yeah,
Yes,
most
sir.
definitely.
Well,
But we got these organizations that do great work around the Chicagoland area.
Yes, sir.
But they have no money. And
Okay.
the budgets are tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They only get so many things, grants or publicity that comes out.
Yeah.
But they still want to make people better.
Yeah.
You got families they try to cater to. They do a number of things for the youth. And we try to go from there.
Yeah.
And so what we've done in the past with our friends who actually have their own podcast, well, you know, we've done back to school events, you know, where we would incorporate other people who offer things like we'll do the cooking, we'll not hire, but we'll incorporate people who say cut hair. Or we'll incorporate people who, you know, want to donate clothes or something.
Or a DJ.
Or a DJ, just to bring everyone together in that particular instance for the community to get what they need. And at this back to school event, you get the necessities that the kids need. Supplies, information, as far as what to expect throughout the, you know, from this particular event and what you can take away with you. And so we do stuff like that, and we've actually, we can partner with churches, or we'll plan it for ourselves and incorporate others. We'll incorporate other people who run business, like we know people who are plumbers and electricians or carpenters. So we'll incorporate them to come and talk to the kids about these different trades, because, you know, yeah, college is fine. Don't get me wrong, I'm not kicking against college. My sisters went to college and, you know, great.
Both HBCUs.
Yeah, both HBCUs. But we realized that everybody can't make it to college, can't afford college. So there's trade school,
Job
Corps. And so we try to help in that way as well. And as far as the churches or the organizations whose money is tight, we work with them as well. As far as, you know, if they have a tight budget they have to stay within, we can usually accommodate. And even to the point of donating certain items, you know, we've been known to donate. We don't mind doing that. Our time, you know, and our efforts. You know, so in that way we make ourselves available as well.
So what do I tell the youth right now? They say, hey, these guys are doing a good job. They have a good product. And I want to do something like this also. What's your recommendation? Go to the trade school, learn how to cook? Or again, this is something I want to do. I want to do what these guys have done. I want to make good food, provide it to people all around the world, and do a good job. What's the deal? How do I get it done?
Well, first make a decision, you know, as to what you want to do, what you're trying to attain, right? And decide if you want to go to school, you know, because, you know, this is a trade as well. Cooking is a trade.
Yes.
And there are very prestigious schools out here that provide very short-term programs that can get you, you know, your culinary arts degree. And from there, you make a conscious decision, okay, do I want to go and maybe be a chef in a, you know, for a big restaurant? Or do I want to also cater, you know?
And they ask you that because when I attended Le Cordon Bleu, it was in class when they asked us all what was our plan after school. And I thought about it, and my idea was, you know, I'm not going to school to get this loan that I have to pay back and all that, only to go and work in a restaurant helping someone else attain their dream. Not that I mind working for someone else, I don't. I'm not above working for someone else. But the thing is, I'm going here so that I can learn how to be my own boss, so that I can learn how to create not just a catering service, but an experience. That's where the idea for the experience was actually born. You know, the seed was planted back when our friends were, hey, this is the house of love, but it was actually born that day in class when I was thinking about what do we really want out of this. And that was to create an experience as well as serve our community and our surrounding communities good food.
So we're saying, hey, if you want to do this, it can be done.
It can be done, and they can access it.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible, and the thing is, they can access it by doing online classes. They have various schools, like well, Le Cordon Bleu has been closed down now for some years, so they have like Kendall College and Washburn, which is offered at Kennedy King College in the Inglewood neighborhood.
The Illinois Institute of Arts, or something
you know,
like that.
And so
downtown.
Yeah, they have it's a lot of resources
arts.
right here in Chicago that kids can utilize.
And again, talk to you guys. I believe I mentioned the Illinois Black Chamber of Commerce because I want you guys to get listed on there.
Okay.
I want you guys to start catering all the events.
Yes.
Also want to get you listed throughout the country. And every state, there is a state chamber of commerce, African American chamber of commerce. So we need to get this set up and be hooked up.
That would be
and
awesome.
we'll make this work. Now, we've gone through a lot of time. We're out of time and almost over. So I wanted to give people the final format. Hey, I got the House of Love here. I got the King and Queen of the House of Love.
Yes.
And the format is, if you guys want to contact them, you can call them or go to the website. And the number to reach you guys would be?
844-772-4362.
Okay, and the website?
House of Love Catering.
.com.
I'm sorry, I get it mixed up
With the email,
sometimes.
right? House of Love Catering, and that's
Catering.com.
love with 2 O's.
Yes.
House of Love Catering.com.
Yes.
Format, you guys are not going to be limited to just stay here in Chicago. You guys will do nationwide. I'm trying to get you hooked up with another guy. I just introduced you guys to
Yes.
Dada.
Yes.
He said, look, I want to go international. I want to take you to
We're
Africa.
looking forward to
Right.
speaking with Mr. Dada. Yes.
Yeah.
Right now, we just
Yes.
got a $40 billion option here to bring African American companies to Africa.
Yes.
You know, say, hey, how can we get this set up to make this thing work?
Wow.
Well, we look forward to any resources that come available, and we will make ourselves available as much as humanly possible so that we can partake in it.
Yes.
We thank you for this opportunity.
Yes.
This is awesome.
It's a matter of saying,
yes.
look, we try to help people and do what we have to do.
Yes,
right
sir.
now, you guys are on our format right now. You're on YouTube
Yes,
right now,
sir.
so basically the world can come and say, hey, let me take a look at their
Yes,
actual
right.
format from
That's
YouTube,
right. Reach
so we can get
out.
this thing set up. And we
Yes.
roll from there. So
Yes.
what else do we not tell people that you guys are trying to do?
What didn't we say about ourselves?
I know.
Well, like I said, we host and pretty much any size group. We can serve anywhere from 2 people or 1 person if you just want a meal.
I can do
you
a
just
catering for
want a
one.
meal,
Huh?
right.
Yeah.
We do that in the community as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But I have this sharp young lady, you know, can we do like a special deal?
Sure.
I mean, yeah.
Let's talk.
Yeah, definitely. Anything's possible,
Anything's
right?
possible.
we pick the right location. You guys come in catering. Okay,
Yeah.
here you go. Put
And
the
we-
champagne on one side.
That's
We
right.
offer
That's right.
what we call drop-off service. So if you hire us to come in, we can do that, or we'll do full service, which includes preparing your food, of course,
Delivery,
set up, serving your guests, and clean up after your guests are done.
Okay.
So we try to take the baggage out, you know, and try to take the stress off for the people that's planning. You know,
Right.
so if you have less to worry about, you can focus more on your event and your guests.
I got this sharp young lady. I want to focus on her.
Yeah.
I want to have to worry about the
About
food
the
and all that
food,
stuff. Look,
exactly.
I know the
Yes,
food
right.
is good here.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yes.
That's done.
Yes.
Exactly. And that's the thing. We take the stress away from you. And you
Yes.
can, like you said, you can put your attention toward other things that need to be coordinated.
Got it.
You
So-
hire House of Love. Hey, it's done.
It's a done deal.
It's a
Yeah.
done deal.
Yeah.
It's a done deal.
No
And we're
worries.
showing up and showing. We're
No
gonna
worries.
show up and we're gonna show out, and everybody's gonna ask, "Wow, where did you find them?"
Yes.
They're actually available. All you got to do, I got the data to you, so go online, give them a
Yes.
call and say, hey, we'll make this happen.
There you
Yes,
go.
and we're
That's it.
available Sunday through Friday, and we're closed Friday evening through Saturday because we keep the Sabbath,
Yes.
and we open right back up on Sunday.
So the situation where you have this beautiful young lady, you want to sit down and have a nice romantic evening, is that call you guys, what, a week in advance to set it up?
We like to say it at the very least
At
about
least.
a week in advance, or as
Yes.
soon as you know something, even if you know it is 3 months out, and
Yeah.
it may be even a tentative date.
Okay.
Give us a call. We'll at least put it on the calendar, even if we have to put a question mark by it because it's a tentative date. At least we have you on the radar.
Now the
Yes.
question is, this young lady that I have to deal with is down in Florida.
Okay.
So to set it up, I mean, I can fly you guys down there. We can get it done. Is that something that's doable?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's doable.
You just let us know when.
Yeah, and yeah.
Yeah, just reach out to us and
Reach
let us
out to
know.
us, and we'll definitely
That'll be fun.
we'll give our availability, and we'll work from there.
Yeah.
So this
And we
is
do
interesting.
have, like we said, we have our food manager certificates.
Yes.
We have in our sanitation licenses, not just for Chicago, but for United States.
For the
Yeah,
great
because I
United
got messed
States.
up because I had to call her because she's down in Miami. I'm up here in Chicago.
Nice.
So I had to coordinate with the restaurant and say, look, she's coming here. We're going to get this set up. So we'll be
Yeah.
setting this up.
You'll have to call.